Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for my client Alex's vlog, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you will be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate that so much. So let's get over to Alex's training. So Alex, because of, again, his schedule, workload, life right now, we've been doing for a while now, just a 3-day push-pull legs. Right? So the whole point behind this is, again, getting the most bang for his buck. So for him, we focus on about 6 total sets of muscle group. Of course, he's cutting. Of course, he had just told me, yeah, man, I had a whole unfortunate week with the family, kind of messed my diet up. But he's already dropped all that back off. So again, he's going to go ahead and cut. We built a pretty good amount of muscle. I mean, he squats 405, we deadlift, like 445 or so. So overall, he's gained a pretty good amount of muscle and strength. We've done, again, Dadbod to Daddy transformation. We put some shirtless stuff up. And he's overall been fairly happy. And a lot of people, when I've put up his stuff for people who are not serious hardcore fitness people, like on, say, my Facebook and stuff, a lot of people are like, yeah, no, he looks good, It was also interesting, with some of this was when I put up his before and after, I had some of the strong guys strength-based over in my YouTube had said, well, he looks better in the before. And I'm like, but they only said that because he had more body fat. They didn't realize, and I'm like, but he's 3 pounds heavier in the right. Even though he was leaner, he was 3 pounds heavier, and we put 100 pounds on his squat and deadlift. So it's just strange how some people have these viewpoints. We have such a divergent perspective, like if you're not shredded, many fitness people are like, oh, you're not fit, you're not in shape if you only have the outline of abs, even though to the normal person, you're super lean, and by that same token, you go to some of the strength guys who want to see bulkier, that you can literally have a client who recomps and gains muscle and puts 100 pounds on their squat and deadlift, and they'll literally say stuff like that only because they're associating a little more fluff with being bigger and stronger. And that's not always the case, right? That isn't always the case. That's not how it works. And so, what's funny in this case, because of that, we've kind of got to laugh about it. But he's going to go ahead and he's cutting. We're just going to slow cut. He wants to trim down a little. And so we're going to do that. But if we look at the training itself, what is it that we have? What are we doing here? We have, for the push day, we change stuff up a little bit. People will notice we do change exercises a little. His basic stuff stays the same. We're always going to do squat, bench, deadlift, pull up, right? Always going to do that. But I do rotate through a lot of his supplemental stuff over time, even when we're only doing lower volumes, 45-minute workouts 3 days a week. So obviously the chest day we do bench press, and I've taken the top sets out. I just having him do sets across. I'm like, let's just focus on muscle here. We don't have to necessarily have a really heavy top set. We can work on your max bench later as long as we have muscle, right? Just gain muscle. So 3 sets of flat bench. We do 3 sets of incline bench. Then we do 3 sets of dumbbell presses. So in his case, his chest does get priority. It's the only muscle group I'm really saying, hey, let's do let's do 9 sets for. Right? And it's because for him, he's always felt like it was a weak link. He wants a bigger chest. It tends to hold back his bench because his arms are pretty good for his strength. It's always been a weak link for him. So I'm like, let's double down on it a little more. Instead of so much shoulder work, he likes the overhead press. I'm like, let's just replace it with more and more chest work. So we're doing that, and then he does dumbbell extensions. Then of course on the pull day, we do just a heavy single on the deadlift. And that's been enough. We came in and hit a deadlift PR, like a 440, or when we had done it. That'd been like a small PR for him. And we just pull moderately heavy singles, and I occasionally ramp them up a little heavier and go for a PR here and there when I know he's going to be able to easily do it, right? And we only do a single on the deadlift. And then we do weighted pull-ups. We're doing dumbbell rows and stuff now. I've got him doing barbell rows. We rotate through stuff like laterals and upright rows. So then I have him doing laterals, and then he finishes up with 3 sets of barbell curls, right? And that is a standard, kind of a standard pull day for us. But notice it's about 4 exercises, right? Other than our deadlift single, we usually do, right around 4 exercises, 3 sets of 4 exercises. So we get 12 work sets in. done 3 times a week. And for the average person, that's enough. You know, if the average person's just trying to get some muscle, they're trying to get a strength base, they're trying to be well-rounded, you can pretty much get everything done there, right? And you're still going to look better than 99% of the people walking around out there. You're going to easily be in the top 1%. You do that for a few years. So then for the lower day, of course, we do barbell back squats. He does his work sets right now at 315. Again, he does, which you guys will notice there, then we do 3 sets of good mornings. He's very strong at those, so his posterior chain's really good, but that's what we want. I always say that to a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes don't seem to always think about that. My people, I make them think about it. Look, you know, dad bod, you want to keep the wife happy, you want to be strong, you want to be able-bodied, you know, be able to do stuff, do manly stuff, be athletic enough. You got to train that posterior chain. And so I make all these guys push that hard. So in his case, it's good mornings, and he's good at them. He does sets of 10 with 300 plus pounds, right, with the barbell. So we've put a lot of work in there, right, keeping that posterior chain strong. Then of course he does need some extra quad work, because 3 sets of squats is not really going to give everything. I'd like some extra stuff. Since we don't have any other machines or anything, we just do, right now we do lunges. I could have him do split squats, but he'd hate me, which would be for a lot of people my go-to there, who have just a setup like this. We might do split squats, and I might rotate him over to some just to change stuff up a little bit. But his squats are still pretty strong, quads are good. I'm not that worried about it. And of course we finish up with the reverse hyperextension, and all of you know how I feel about this movement. All right, the reverse hyper. I get any of my clients with a home gym, especially a garage gym, I always want them to buy one. I want them to have access to one, even if it's the Scout Hyper. Some do. In his case, he bought the Titan Economy one, which these days I think is running like 500. I originally got it for like 420 or something, and then gave it away as a gift when I got my Rogue one. I gave it to a friend of mine. But the point is, the reverse hyper brings so much to the table, and I think especially the older lifter, like guys, I tell guys, you get 35 plus, you get 40, you really and truly need the reverse hyper. Like you have to have one. It shouldn't be something to where you say, hey, this is optional. You know, I can get away with not having this. No, you really can't. You're gonna regret not having it, even if you don't use it forever. Doing some time of base building on it, it's going to strengthen that lumbar area up. It's going to really give you prehab work. It's going to build the tendons, connective tissue, blood flow to your low back, in addition to actually building your glutes and erectors. Right? It's just, to me, not an optional exercise. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.